Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Digital Citizenship. It's April 30th, 2020, and today we'll be reviewing a creator's rights and responsibilities, and we'll be going a little bit more in depth with Creative Commons. So, our learning objectives: students will consider ethical questions about real-life decisions young creators make in exercising their creative rights and responsibilities. We'll also compare different ways people license their copyrighted work. So the do now, and hopefully you've already done this because it was step 1 in your instructions for today's assignment. So step 1 was to study your copyright terms for about 5 minutes in KidBlog. You should have already done that. I also want to make sure that I remind you that we will be having our next quiz, which is quiz 4, not quiz 5, on Tuesday, May 5th, and that will have to do with everything we've talked about copyright law. We're going to start off with a review of Henry's story because I just want to make sure that everyone understands his rights and responsibilities as a creator, as shown in the video where he liked to make mashups. So what are Henry's rights as a creator? Well, he can copyright his own work, and as we know from our background notes, that anytime you create something, you have your creative work, it's automatically copyrighted. So once he creates something, that is automatically copyrighted. He can use copyrighted work with permission, and he can also apply fair use. What are his responsibilities in using other people's creative work? Well, first of all, he has to ask permission. So how you do that depends on the copyright license that you have. If the work has a Creative Commons license, you may not have to ask permission because that license might give you permission to use it in certain ways and in certain situations. So if you don't see a Creative Commons license, you have to assume that it's a regular copyright and you do have to get permission first. Acknowledge, did I give credit to the work I used? And then 3, add value. Did I rework the material to make and add something original, to make it your own? Another question that was asked is, what is pirating? And to give an example in the video. A lot of you told me what pirating was, but you failed to include an example from the video. So you should have said something like, pirating is stealing copyrighted work by downloading or copying it in order to keep, sell, or give it away without permission and without paying. And then an example in the video is that Henry used the Bob Dylan song without permission. So he downloaded that song and used it in his own video and didn't have permission, and that's why the audio was blocked. So what does Henry need to do to make his work fair use? So you can't just ask permission, because we know that the definition of fair use, as you can see here, is the ability to use a small amount of copyrighted work without permission, but you can only do that in certain ways and in specific situations. So you have to be following the fair use guidelines. So you can't just use something and give credit. So if Henry used the Bob Dylan song, if he just simply gave Bob Dylan credit for that, that's still not enough. It still would have been blocked. So we've talked about these 4 points of fair use. And these are the situations in which you can apply fair use. So it has to be for schoolwork and education, or news reporting, or criticizing or commenting on something, or in comedy and parody. In addition, you have to meet one of these requirements on the outside of the diamond. So if you use a small amount for schoolwork and education, that falls under fair use. So for example, when I showed you a very small portion of the movie Identity Thief, I showed you some clips for educational purposes, that falls under fair use, and I didn't have to get permission from the people who own the movie. You can rework it and use it in a different way if it falls under one of these 4 things. You can use it for nonprofit purpose, or adding new meaning and making it original. That is what you had to say to show me that you understood what Henry needed to do to make his work fair use. So that's basically a review of Henry's rights and responsibilities as a creator. I hope that cleared up any misunderstandings. Also, read the feedback that I provide to you after you've completed an assignment, and I send you back the comments. Read those comments and they will help you to more deeply understand what the rights and responsibilities are. Okay, so we're going to move on to Creative Commons now. So Creative Commons licenses, what they do. So we talked about a Creative Commons license is a way for people to have more flexibility when they're sharing online. So you don't have to worry about being bothered by many people asking you for permission to use your work. You can simply give permission if the people are using it in the way that you specify through this Creative Commons license. So I have a short video to show you, and it's right from the Creative Commons website, and it's called Wanna Work Together. Once you're finished watching this instructional video, I have another video clip, it's short, that you should watch before you go ahead and complete your activity for today. So the video is called Wanna Work Together, and it's right on the Creative Commons website. So make sure you watch that. It kind of explains some of the things that we're talking about. It makes it a little bit easier to understand. So as soon as you're finished watching this, you should move on to the Wanna Work Together instructional video. So in this video, they're going to talk about using your creative work for commercial use. And what do they mean by that? Basically what they mean whenever they say commercial use is to make money from it. So do you want your creative work to be used by someone else and have them make money on it? So I just wanted to make sure you knew what that term meant before you watched the video. Finally, your activity, copyright detectives. So you're going to pretend you're a detective. You have to decipher or figure out the meaning of the symbols that you see below. These appeared at the end of the video that we watched last week called Nicole's Story. And your assignment, what do these symbols mean? What do they have to do with copyright? So you do have a link in Schoology to your Copyright Detectives activity. You'll have to go ahead and copy that sorry about that. You'll have to make a copy of the document before you can edit it. So I've shared a copy with you. It won't let you write in it until you make a copy, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So first off, where am I finding all of this stuff anyway? So hopefully if you found this video, you've already been to Schoology, and you know that you should be looking at your assignments every Tuesday and Thursday. So today's assignment is right here, In Depth with Creative Commons. So you're going to open up that assignment. Hopefully you figured out that these are links. They're active links. So if you study your copyright terms, you should have done that first. There will be a link to my instructional video here. You're watching Wanna Work Together for more information about Creative Commons. And then finally, you're going to complete Copyright Detectives. And it does have the instruction here. You will need to make a copy of this document before you can edit it. So you're going to click on the link, and that will bring you to this document here. So to make a copy, you're just going to go to File and Save As. And right here it says Save a Copy Online, and you'll save it in your file somewhere, and that's what you're going to be submitting for this week's assignment, or for Thursday's assignment. So let's see. I already read the top part. So you're going to be visiting the Creative Commons website, and you do that by clicking on that link. In these documents, you have to press Control and then click on the link. And can you find out what the symbols above mean? Scroll down until you find the Creative Commons. Then once you're at the website, you're going to have an option to click on View License Deed, and it will tell you what all these symbols mean. So you'll see CC in there. Okay, so what do those letters mean? What do they stand for, and what is their meaning? BY, what do the letters stand for, and what is their meaning? You also have NC and SA. Continue to scroll down. You have two more questions. The last one, for creative work, that's just something that you've created. It can be anything. And then make up a Creative Commons license for that on the website. So if you can copy and paste that here, the license that you made, that'd be great. If you're having technical difficulty, don't worry about being able to copy and paste the exact license. Just describe the license you created. What letters did it have? Okay, so that's all for today. Remember, you're in Schoology. Today is April 30th. We're doing In-Depth with Creative Commons. Please read all instructions carefully, follow all the links, and you'll be done. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you back here next Tuesday.